they're stripping. You can see that's very golden hazy, and I think that's what it should look like instead of like much more clear and with big chunks in it. Okay, and of course the taste test. Ooh, I hope you can see me. Okay, looking at the lens. That is delicious, absolutely delicious. Alright, here we are at Camp Uno with Dano Bushcraft. Hi Dano! Hi everybody! And we're just hanging out, having some beers, waiting on some waitings, and I'd figure I'd set up some new gear. So here we go! New gear! Well, alright, here we are at Camp Uno with Dano Bushcraft, and I just set up my new ground chair by Helinox or Helinox. Depends on how you say that. Healy, Heli, however you want to do it. And I gotta say, this is a very comfortable chair. I picked this chair from Helinox because after watching a bunch of Zero reviews and seeing the post legs of the Zero sinking into soft ground, I decided that the sort of stubby runner legs of the ground would be far more appropriate for the areas that I typically go to and set up an off-trail seating setup wherever it may be. And you know, in terms of the comfort is actually really good. I will say that on uneven ground, it's a little weird. It has a tendency to tip if you're not completely level, and you kind of gotta position your legs a little bit to prevent the tipping. But other than that, it's a fantastic chair. It's very comfortable. Being someone who has some L4, L5 diffusions, That's lower back pain for anyone not versed in that language. It's actually really very good to support your back, which can be quite an issue out in the field. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and so if things get a little chilly, it's actually really easy to add a Z seat to this guy. I was hanging out at a buddy's place not too long ago, and the temperature did drop, and the wind was a little breezy, and I started getting CBS, which in the hammock world is known as cold butt syndrome. And a quick addition of the Z seat took care of that. Can't complain. So as far as the ground chair goes, it's very comfortable. It doesn't sink into the ground. It's a little bit bulky in the backpack though. There is a little bit of weight. There's a little bit of room to squish things against it. But it's not as compressible or packable as say the Zero from Helinox. It's a little bit clunky in terms of packing, but there is some room to sort of squish softer objects around it. In terms of the weight, I don't mind. You know, not much of my gear could be considered fully ultralight, and I'm a pretty fit guy, you know. Look at that. Oh yeah. So the extra 130, 150 grams versus the Zero is of no concern to me at all. Now the price, for what you're getting, a very comfortable chair that's lightweight, fits in your backpack, along with, you know, like today I brought my standard day pack. I got a bunch of other stuff in there. Some of it's necessary, some of it isn't, but whatever, that's just how I roll. So in terms of just adding it to like a 26-liter day pack, it's not gonna take up that much space versus whatever else you're putting in your day pack. It's negligible. Whew. Oh, right. The actual price that I paid for it from MEC in Ontario was $150, and that's about taxes in, and so it's not bad. And so for $150 for what you're getting in terms of a very durable, lightweight, very comfortable chair, it's not that bad. But if you do like to keep off the ground, it's very short. You know, as you can see just from sitting here, my knees are at my chin, but it's still very comfortable. It's not an issue. But if you're a person who likes to keep your knees much lower than your hips, you might want to look for something else, but that's just how it goes. For 150 Canadian dollars, you can't go wrong with the ground chair. You really can't. Well, all right. That's my quick little tidbits on the ground chair, and I would definitely recommend it as a product for backpackers or hikers. Seating in the woods is a pretty big deal. If you spend enough time outside, you will come to understand that getting a chair that has back support is a pretty big deal, and eventually you might want to deal with that issue. The ground chair by Helinox is definitely a solution to that problem. You just can't go wrong. And if you wanted to spend a little bit more to carve a little bit of weight off the pack, the Zero is definitely another one of those products. But I should mention, one of the main reasons I got the ground over the Zero is that every single review I watched of the Zero, it sunk into soft ground because of the post style legs. And that may not be an issue for a lot of people, but I do tend to spend some fair amount of time in places where it's soft ground, is a thing, and the post style legs versus the runners of the Zero was the clincher for me. So I didn't mind spending a little bit less to carry a little bit more weight to have versatility off trail. So that's why I bought the Zero. Well, all right, that's pretty much all I have to say about this particular product that I'm still sitting in. And I'd like to thank you for watching. And as always, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. All right, so Dano's going to take a seat in the ground chair.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
Here we go.
He's a pretty tall guy. It's kind of low, but whatever,
see.
right? We'll see.
Oh my God, wow. Yeah. Wow. Oh, the back. The back is what gets you. Oh. Oh, that is nice. Yeah. I gotta say, for seating in the woods, oh,
hey,
absolutely perfect.
Well,
oh my God.
If you're looking for more of an endorsement than that,
right?
I think you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah. No, like you said, like it's low, but it's not uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can lean back, you can sit forward.
Right. You sit how
it's
you
not so
want,
bad.
Right? I like it.
Nice.
I'm
Good stuff.
Definitely looking into them, that's for sure. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there is a reason that all the people on the groups like talk about these Helinox products. Like they are actually really comfortable. I was hesitant, but talked about getting a chair long enough, pulled the trigger. It's worth it. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm getting two.
Hear that, everyone?
To the podcast.
Daniel's getting two of them. Woo! Well, all right. What more of an endorsement do you need, eh?
That's right.
Woo!